welcome or welcome back if you're returning. My name is Burr, and if you are a fan of MMOs, RPGs, JRPGs, obscure video games, art, or music, then you should subscribe because that's what we do here. Also, don't forget to like this video because that super helps us out. We are making our way steadily to 800 subscribers. We are almost there. Once we get there, we're going to be doing a live art stream where I'm going to be drawing for you guys, just as a way for me to say thank you because you've been so super awesome. So we're almost there. We've got like less than 40, I think, to go, so that's super exciting. So yeah, once that happens, I will announce when we're doing that. Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, Burr, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hext on your return to Alamigo. My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Alamigo and Ul'dah both. Burr, you're back. What did Nanamo... Oh, sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? So, Raban says he's going to return to Ul'dah, but she isn't sure he wants to. Humph. Tell us something we don't know, but I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Sultry does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lolorito's help is another question. After all that has happened, and he is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. But on a more practical note, Lise, assuming the interim government elects to accept Ul'dah's proposal, I have one caveat I should like you to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal, after all, and allowing Ul'dah to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control. Honestly, Alphino, it's like Kugane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though, we need to discuss this proposal with the Sultry's residents. Whisker, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Watt thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything. Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Burr? I might need you to fill in the details. Then I shall come as well. Should Watt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. Yes, I guess I will go with you to talk about money.
Sounds like a great idea.
What manner of mischief brings you young'uns to Old Watt this time, eh? They want to rebuild the Sultry, Granddad. Burr, tell him about the deal. Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin or the hands to put the place back to how it was, but it sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to cull the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us. Don't worry, Granddad. We'll take care of all that. Commander Hext has been talking about starting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the lock if I asked. I'd appreciate that, Whisker, my lad. Truly I would. So does this mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours? I've been training, aye, but mostly to kill Imperials. You have some experience hunting monsters, don't you, Burr? Think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties and teach me how to deal with them? She says, follow me. Let's not waste any time then. I'll see you by the lock. Okay, let's go take out some monsters. Whilst you are busy attending to the local fauna, I shall have Master Watt explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Sultry to its former glory. Good hunting. Right then, Burr, I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a closer look at these pests. Once you've got their measure, you can tell me what to do and we'll see how well I get on. Oh. Oh, he smooched him. He's flat. All the air just went right out of his head. I see you've returned in one piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did you? I fought them myself, after a bit of instruction from Burr here, like. Once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. A fine young man you've become, Whisker. A fine young man indeed. Too often of late I hear tales of folk over in the city, drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights on the future, on things which will improve your lot. Things like getting the Saltery ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen.
Yeah, you do that.
Seems Whisker has the Saltery's security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with Master Watt and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, the vacant buildings here can be made into very presentable dwellings. Message from General Alden. Apologies for the interruption, miss, but the General would speak with you at your earliest convenience. Oh, really would he? Do not feel obliged to wait around on my account. I shall remain here to hammer out the finer details with Watt and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Ulda. You should go. General Alden asked that you wait for him by the main gate in the Alamigan Quarter. My apologies again, miss. Fare you well. So pretty.
Apologies for the wait. People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far. But it is no concern of yours. We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal.
Oh yes, I remember.
They followed him all the way to the wall.
Jeez.
It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
Man, I'm surprised they are still alive after all that went down at that wall. How would I punish them? I guess execution's not the answer.
You would spare these animals? Yours is a more merciful brand of justice than mine. In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard. Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me.
Get to hang out with Robert. Go on a nice night walk.
I bear a share of the blame for Ilberd's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamigan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did. Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't. But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Alamigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness. Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Ulda and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Father...
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword. But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
Off you go.
That took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled. Ehrenwald, what news? We may have a problem, sir. A group of Ananta has arrived at the main gates, and I don't mean the Vera. These are Kalyana, the ones that summoned the Primal. They're insisting they be allowed to attend the council. Lisa's trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all of the native beast tribes, but we assumed the Kalyana would refuse it out of hand. We had best go and see for ourselves. Pippin, take command of our forces and be ready for battle. But you've dealt with these Kalyana before. I'd have you at my side. Yeah, the last time we left them, they were not too happy. Just went the roundabout way. The back way. Burr, Roman! Gods, it's good to see you. Ah, the Slayer has come. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss, but we did not come here to shed blood. You claim to seek harmony with all who call Gir Abad your home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Ananta. It is our wish, and you are welcome, but we cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, I must ask that you first surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word that it will all be returned to you when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask, but you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. I reckon that's the closest we're going to get to a compromise, and we will have people standing guard. Aye, let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber. Alright, well that was not too bad.
Off to a pretty good start here.
Why do I have a feeling we've welcomed a viper into our midst? Maybe because she's a snake. These Kalyana elders' intentions seem at odds with all we know of her tribe. What think you, Burr? You believe an understanding can be reached. 'Tis not entirely unheard of, I suppose. Those who followed Saint Shiva eventually sought reconciliation with Ishgard. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances. The god must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. Can we rely on the Scions? I'll round up our comrades and send them to the Alamegan quarter. You can go out ahead if you like, Burr. My thanks. I'll see you in the palace. Burr, I bought reinforcements. Hervold told me of the arrival of our unexpected guests, and I agreed that it would be prudent to call upon his Stolan Thingrid as well. One can never be too careful when dealing with the enthralled. Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response to our invitation, much less an envoy, and I imagine Lise was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. Speaking of which, how should we deploy ourselves? If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, 'twould seem wise to have eyes both inside and outside the palace. Stolan I can stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over proceedings in the throne room itself. Understood. We should join General Alden inside then. But do you know of the rear entrance to the palace? It's on the eastern edge of the city at the top of the stairs. The guard there should have been instructed to let us pass. You're with the Scions, miss. General Alden left orders that you were to be escorted inside. If you'll follow me... Okay, let's see what happens here. I like that purple. Pretty pretty.
Thank you all for coming. I am Lise Hext, and I speak for the Resistance. Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Kikern. You've come from every corner of Girabania to help decide the future of Alamigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question. What was the first thing you noticed when you came in? For me, it was that empty throne. It has no one to sit on it now. No viceroy, no king. Would any of you like to take their place? Or should someone else sit there? Then let's sit here in a circle, as equals, and I hope, as friends.
Oh, they're really sitting in a circle on the floor. Ah. That's awesome.
Expertly done. Lys has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game and positioned them to consider a joint government. All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
Thank you, Ragenford. Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Kalyana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
The Ananta wish only that those who dwell within Girabania devote themselves to our faith.
That doesn't sound good. Oh,
You
boy.
shall all worship Sri Lakshmi!
This bitch.
Lady of Bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage!
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the Primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
What the heck? Oh. Went right to the source. Definitely not a great start. Oh dear.
Gods damn it! The guards were already turned! Fools!
Oh. What a mess.
No, you don't!
The Kalyana would see us all enthralled.
Then they're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvald to shield us.
Aye, but they can't well defend your guests and attack the Primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
We're spread pretty thin here.
All right, I think I have an idea. Keep these people safe, General. I'll be back as soon as I can.
you gonna do? Gonna get reinforcements?
Yeah, whatever she's about, you'd best make it quick.
Good boy.
Come then. Who will be next to die on my steel?
Are you kidding me?
How do we fight her without leaving our allies wide open? We can't stay on the back foot forever. No, damn it, if I think like that, we've already lost. I have the Warrior of Light at my side. We can do this. Isn't that right, Bird? Sorry, had to cut it, because, man, that was driving me crazy. But we did it!
We did it! We beat her!
Alright, Fordola, you've redeemed yourself, I guess.
What is this? I'm only gonna say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the Echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Xenos, or you can fight for Alamigo. Your choice.
Hey everyone, welcome back.
Seven hells. It's her, the butcher.
The kids are so cute. Yeah, it's a very dramatic moment. Ugh.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
Huh, okay.
You are not forgiven.
Keeper.
Not you. You I will never forgive. But I will thank you. For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
Ugh. It's a good start. Well thought, Burr. Are involved. That was a near thing. Aye, our stand against the Kalyana would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We'd be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance. Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have... Gah, it's my fault. My stupid mistake. Hey, lass, we were all caught unawares. We will take this as a lesson and watch our own more carefully in future. True. We were all like, sure. You can be sure that the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldier who first spoke up in favor of the Kalyana keeping their weapons springs to mind. A primal servant is betrayed by his aura. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sri Lakshmi's influence. Thanks, Istola. We'd appreciate the help. This is true. This is true, young lad. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Fordola turned up. What was she even doing there? I asked her to come. Well, that explains it then. It's sad, but Ragnfrid is right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Fordola picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She just wanted to fight for her country. If you say the world in which Fordola grew up is partly to blame for what she became, then as an Alamegan, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people to let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face if that's what it takes. 'Tis a long and arduous path you have chosen, but one well worth walking. Rest assured that I will do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, Alfredo. The first step will be to get our representatives back into the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started. I will see that you're not interrupted. Burr, you and the Scions are to stand down. Get some rest. You've earned it. Thank the heavens.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens. The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government modelled on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people. It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave. Forget something? Your Grace, there was no word.
Rabun Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
Oh, snap.
But, Your Grace...
Rabon, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Alamigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Ul'dah? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Nanamo.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Smile for me, Raubon. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Ul'dah.
Tomorrow you will serve Alamigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
Oh. The love that they have for each other is so sweet. Like, what are we doing now?
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
You're kind to include me, Lise, but we both know who did most of the work. I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow. No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in the shade.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project. She was in search of General Aldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden. I do hope he was still there.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Be at ease, Alphino. 'Twas only a jest. But I must yield the floor to Raubon. He has an important announcement to make.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
Twould seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company or some such.
You may be getting on in years, father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Oh, shit.
Awkward.
She's so
Yes,
funny.
the bull of Alamigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Your Grace has developed a wicked edge to her humor, and you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
So, does this mean you're staying?
Aye. That seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
If, he says. Welcome home, Rauban.
Well, that was unexpected. Though you seem distinctly unsurprised. Either you're more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch. In any event, one thing is certain. Alamigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
Hooray! Aw, good. I was hoping he would stay. I think it's about time I headed back to Ralgo's Reach. What's next for all of you? Anaze will be eager to hear of recent events, so I shall join you if you've no objections. I'd welcome the company. Burr, why don't you come along to the Reach as well once you've said your farewells to Nanamo and the others? The Chocobo's standing on top of Nanamo. Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. Just wanted to remind you real quick to like this video and also subscribe if you haven't yet, because we're so close to our goal. So close. Also wanted to invite you to check out my Patreon below. The link will be listed in the description, and there you will find just other random stuff. I usually put like rough drafts, bloopers, random art things over there, my thoughts, my feelings. You know, if you're interested, don't have to. It just helps. It definitely supports the channel. Also, I have a Twitch now, so that link will be in the description, as well as the Discord. Come join us if you'd like to chat with us all the time instead of just during the stream. There, I'm planning on doing some like little private Discord streams, and we'll play FF together and other games. You guys will hear about news before anybody else hears about it, so that's free, and you're welcome. And yeah, that's all. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!